Aftershock.
Aftershock XL.
Aftershock XL.
Steve Grillo.
Top Shelf Liquor.
Top Shelf Liquor.
Each week, the former Howard Stern intern will interview celebrities and his eclectic friends.
Grillo, what's going on out there? You were my #1 man. I don't give that role to anybody.
Sharing twisted tales of debauchery.
And I'm just dumbfounded.
This is Aftershock XL.
Yes, sir. Ooh-wee. I don't get too nervous about, doing this show every once in a while, but every once in a while I do get nervous. I don't know why. I have a big show today, and I just always get nervous that like the technology is going to break down. Everything else is going to fall apart. But I just want to do a good show. That's all I want to do. And I'm here. It's a very nice day in Las Vegas. Got a little chill to it. And there's just a lot of things going on. Yo, Savannah, we got some people dropping in. Have a good show. Thanks, Bacon Bits, buddy. Good old Bacon Bits. I get some of these like guys with their monikers. I really have fun with their names, like Drunken Donuts and Bacon Bits and American Cupcake, Oscar Electric. All good people, all great names. So there's a lot of things going on. Thank you. The show is officially better than the 2026 CERN show. I've heard, I really haven't listened very much since I left. That was a long time ago. I do get a lot of reports on what's going on, and apparently it is just a snooze fest over there. I feel bad for people like Richard and Sal who, have families and they're all probably sweating their job because, what am I getting paid to do? Because if he's only on a couple of days a week, how do they justify their their paycheck? Believe me, I know how that feels at some point, and you're just sweating and worrying about if when the axe is going to fall. It's not a good way to live life. But I want to start off by saying that I do have my buddy. Where'd he go? Okay, Pete. Oh, there you go. I got handsome Pete Pitts hanging out today. He's doing my super tips. He's in the other room. Pete, can you hear me? Say hi to everybody.
Yeah, how's everyone doing today?
Yeah, I'm a little shaky with the audio, but Pete's going to be doing my super chats, not Jerry, but Pete's an actor, and he's a very talented guy. Appreciate all the help, Pete. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Great to be here, brother.
Yeah, and no, the show today is pretty big. We got Dave Nussbaum, who has been a friend of mine for so long. We're going to try to track our friendship because it seems like it's been so long that we just can't figure out exactly how we cross paths. But it's exciting for me, and I don't know why. I'm a little verklempt. I got a little nervousness going on because it was nice of him to come on and do this, and also bring on the two guests that he's going to be bringing on at some point. We just say we're gonna work this out, but at first I really want to know more about how Proto Hologram came about because it is everywhere, Pete. It's everywhere, and all the major celebrities and all these big people believe in this. They invest in this. Do you think you might be a hologram, Ryan? What's up, buddy? All these regulars coming in, Ryan. Do you think I think I would like to? I would much rather live as a hologram than what I am right now. So how about that, Ryan? So Peanut Butter 66 is in the house, and we got to. I'm really curious about the path that my friend Dave took to get to where it is because, like, it is like some Star Wars shit, Star Trek shit. With William Shatner, I got to be careful not to cross Star Wars with Star Trek because I'm a Star Wars guy. But don't get me wrong, I love the Star Trek series. I love everything that they do. But William Shatner, he's 95 years old now, and he looks fucking better than me. And I did a little research on William, and he's in really good shape, and he's just like, I just can't believe I'm 95. He said, I heard when someone say 95, he goes, who's 95? He's still got it all together. He looks like he's in great shape, and hopefully we'll get a great interview with him. And then Howie Mandel is also a big partner with my buddy Dave Nussbaum, the creator of Prototype Hologram. And we got everybody lined up, and Dave's already here. And I'm going to bring my buddy Dave right onto the screen. Hello, Mr. Nussbaum.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe this is finally happening.
Right?
Stephen Grillo and Pete Pitts. Look at the three of us. We're making this thing happen.
Handsome Pete Pitts.
Handsome Pete Pitts.
Everybody's got to have that hook moniker. It's got to be something fun. Everybody had a nickname. Yours is fantastic. I love Nuzzy. That's great.
Nuzzy, yeah, I was Nuzzy for a while. It's kind of funny when people reach out to me, I'll know like what part of my life I know them from. Like Dave, people used to call me Dave when I was younger, when I was living in when I grew up, and it was Dave. And then I started my podcast many decades ago, and I was known as Nuzzy, like from a shortened version of Nussbaum, and that was part of my podcast. And then when I started Proto, I wanted to go legit. And so I thought, how can I run a company that's going to eventually be a billion-dollar company with the name Nuzzy? So I went to David, which I thought was the most official and professional.
Well,
So
if you cut it down the line, what if they just call you Mr. Nuzzy?
Mr. Nuzzy. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Yeah, you got the Mister with respect, and then the warmth of your nickname.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Howie calls me. He calls me Mr. Nuzzy.
Yo, really? Yeah. Now you guys all work out of the same studio. I see everything in the background, and next thing that you're gonna have Emperor Palpatine in the palm of your hands. Well, what's going on?
For sure. I love this technology so much. You and I, we actually got to hang out together via Proto. You were in New York at the time. I know you're in Vegas now, but a couple years ago,
Yeah.
you were standing in front of one of these guys, and
Yeah.
I beamed in, and then we got to hang out for a little
It
bit.
is the
And that,
freakiest thing because everything other than reaching out and giving you a nice big hug is the only thing you
yeah,
can't do. And
right.
and the reason why you happen to be on today is I was walking around the outlet mall in Vegas and I saw one of your hologram booths and I went, "Oh shit, that's fucking awesome." And I took a picture of it and I sent it to you and you kind of almost knew exactly where it was. I'm like, "I'm in Vegas." You were like, "Oh, that's the outlet mall one."
That's right. Well, I know where all of my units are. That's I've got one of those minds. No, it's great because the technology is really my take on broadcasting. So what you're doing here today, what you've been doing, your career, and everything that may come after this. To me, this is just like the evolution of it, or a kind of a spin-off of it. I thought, wouldn't it be cool, like when when Grillo's talking into a microphone, or so other people could hear his voice come out of speakers. I thought, what if I could beam Grillo? What if I could beam his actual presence so that, imagine instead of just watching us on your television screens or your computer screens, what if Grillo, what if Pitts, what if they were standing right there in the room with you, making you feel like they're actually sharing the same space at the same time? So I thought that was kind of, so this to me is the an extension of presence.
So, well, by the way, Pete has had some interaction with one of your, I don't know if he's a client or a friend, but Mr. Beast, Pete worked with Mr. Beast for, well, tell him what you did, Pete.
Yeah, I worked on Beast Games Season 1 as a development coordinator, and I worked in Season 2 as well, helping out in the guard department.
Oh.
So I was there in Vegas during the Vegas shoots, and I was there in Toronto as well for Season 1. I don't know, did you work on the Beast Game show as well?
I did. So we did two
Nice.
regular Mr. Beast videos. So we beamed Mr. Beast from a subterranean cave in New Zealand to the top of a bridge in North Carolina where he has his compound. So he could essentially be in two videos at the same time. And
Wow.
then a few months later, we did this thing where there was a weight loss challenge. This guy, oh God, I'm spacing his name. Anyway, Madged. And so the guy lost like 150 pounds in 6 months, and he won hundreds of thousands of dollars. Anyway, there was a proto inside of this place that he was living in, and so he was that was a big part of it. Beast Games 2, we were in the season finale. Well, they told me I was going to be in the season finale, and I think we got cut out. But or maybe I just blinked and I missed it. But Mr. Beast is fantastic. He's been using us in a lot of his videos, and Jimmy, if you're listening, use us in more videos, please. I love all the views.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jimmy, great guy. And that does happen a lot. Sometimes the footage we shoot, it makes the cutting room floor, and we don't see that final edit, but at least we're part of the production.
I know.
Dave BaconBit664 wants to know, were you responsible for Tiffany Stratton's WrestleMania entrance last year?
Yes, I was. Well, not just me, but everybody here at Proto. Tiffany. It's just so there were three. I actually have. I could bring her up right now. As a matter of fact, let's see if I could find her. Wait here. See if I could find Tiffy time. Let's see. Wait.
I hope you guys
So
are enjoying this. You're all welcome. Just kidding.
here. Wait.
This is
Oh,
just
here
this
she
is
is.
just so
Here
amazing.
she is. All right. So here we go. So we've got Tiffany from WrestleMania. So she was so great because we couldn't tell who was the real Tiffany. She appeared in three boxes at the exact same time, and we beamed two of them in via hologram, and the one you weren't sure which one it was the real Tiffany. And then she kicked the door open, and she came out to like the crowd was going bananas. So that was really great. Love WrestleMania, and we got our deal with WrestleMania through this guy right here in the middle. Dana White. Dana White,
Wow.
good friend of Proto, and bought some of our technology and started using us. And I think he ended up lending one of his Proto devices to WrestleMania for the Tiffany uh, for the Tiffany experience.
That is so like I love. I know you got some like really big people backing you, like Elon Musk and the Elton John and everything like that. So hold on a second. And
We're going to commercial.
Paris Hilton and yeah, Dana White. Like these are some big people. But I'd like to go back a little bit and let's go back to how it started and how you got to this point because it's got to be an amazing journey. It's not like it just came out of nowhere. You had to fight and claw and research and development and funding.
Yeah.
The whole thing started where in your living room, I heard.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing started when I heard your voice on the Howard Stern show many years ago. I got to give you and like the OG Stern show credit. It started me on my journey. All I've ever wanted to do was broadcast. I'm obsessed with it. Communications and broadcasting. Worked for CBS Radio. I got to work with Marin and Corolla and Kevin Smith and Jim Jeffries and Fitz. Greg Fitzsimmons and stuff. So like early days of podcasting, I also got to work with them too. So like finally with podcasts, everybody who was working on the radio, everybody heard that dump button every 6 seconds. That I got to work with folks who took their voice and own it themselves, sort of like what you guys are doing here today. Finally, broadcasters got to be uncensored, do their long form interviews. What Howard made famous, lots of people ended up kind of copying or evolving. And to me, this is the evolution of that. So yeah, this particular company started in my living room in 2018, but it was because of decades of wanting to broadcast. And these were little radio stations for me. And like I mentioned earlier, instead of the spoken word or instead of looking into a TV camera so your face could be on a screen, I thought, what if Pete Pitts? What if I could beam him into your living room? And that was kind of the idea behind it. Um, Somewhere in between, I started a hologram entertainment company. It was just, I'll tell you, you know what? You have a lot of Stern fans here. I'm doing my podcast. One of the guests on my podcast was Johnny Fratto.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Johnny, God rest his soul. Rest in peace, Johnny Fratto. I have Johnny Fratto also on the same show, Henry Hill.
Ah, my God.
Okay. I'm pulling everybody I've ever met from the Howard Stern show who will say yes to me, who wants to be on the podcast. So I have Henry Hill and Fratto in my living room. And
Wow.
Fratto says to me after the pod, it was great. Henry Hill was talking about, shooting at people and not sticking around long enough to wait for the bullets to land somewhere. Like he was probably not as uncensored as he was on your old show, but he was incredible.
He
But
told
anyway,
me where dead
so
bodies were buried in my neighborhood.
there you go. Isn't that something? So Fratto tells me, I'm reading your chat. You know what to do.
Yeah.
So Fratto tells me, he knows. I'm not going to do the voice, but he says,
Yeah.
I know the guys who own the patents that were just famously used to put Tupac on stage at Coachella. So this is like late 2012, early 2013. Literally, Tupac just performed 10 years after being gone. And And so I said, this is great. Introduce me to him. So he introduced me to him. After a couple of months, we did some negotiations. I introduced him to a financing partner of mine, and we owned the patents. And we started bringing back all of these late legends. We started bringing back Billie Holiday and Whitney Houston. I started licensing those patents to like Cirque du Soleil, so the Michael Jackson show could happen, or to Universal Studios, or it was really cool. Like it's a technology, it's a technique, famously called Pepper's Ghost, and it's like an 1800s old kind of magic trick that over the years really became the thing. Like the Gorillas, that kind of animated cartoon band, performed on stage with Madonna using like it's
Wait,
really cool technology.
quick question. What was that the same technology they used to bring back the Duke Wayne? Was it John Wayne and the vacuum cleaner commercial?
No, that's good. No, that's I think that was probably more CGI for commercials. What's the hologram? There's another. Look at this guy. We got Andy Dick behind me. This
Oh,
we the
he got me thrown out of an
you
MTV Music Awards.
know, I'm sure he did. I bet you and Andy probably have hung out more than once together.
No, no.
So
I asked a stupid question, like Stuttering John sort of style, and
uh-huh.
out of everybody there, everybody took all the questions, and Andy Dick was the only one that had a problem with me. He said, "Get him out of here." I was like, "You're Andy Dick. What? You don't have a sense of humor?" Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, he does have a great sense of humor. You must have said something really awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I don't think the same technology that John Wayne used to be in a vacuum cleaner commercial was used, but it nonetheless, it is still the technology has evolved into this. So instead of the big giant hologram stages, I squeezed them down into single passenger holoportation machines, and now you can beam anybody anywhere, anytime. Beam them live, beam them in live from wherever they are, or you can create AI avatars of them. With full ability to speak hundreds of different languages and dialects. It's really great. The evolution of communication.
At one point, did you realize that you made it? Like this was really going to happen? Because a lot of people go out in different ventures, and it looks like it's going to be great. And there's research development, there's money, there's funding, and there's a product, and you bring it out on stage, and then you give it to the world. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. What was your
Yeah.
holy shit? We're not going to fall to the wayside. This is really going forward. When did that happen?
Am still waiting for that day. As a founder of a technology company, not being a technology guy, not being an engineer, not being a software guy or a hardware guy, I'm literally a radio guy. I'm old school AM FM talk radio. So I still wait for that day, but the technology continues to evolve. I'll tell you, the first time so I'm in my living room. It's 2018, 2019. I forget the exact day, but I was able to finally. I put a little bit of money into this, and each prototype that I made kept getting worse than the one before it. I mean, I was going in the wrong direction. It was terrible. I was down to my last nothing. My wife, I had two kids. I had 3 and 4 year old daughters. My wife is like, I mean, how much more money are you going to put into this thing? And we're running on nothing. We're running on fumes at this point. I said, just give me one more. Like, so I made one more prototype, and the hologram materialized on into the device, but he was upside down. And I'm like, okay, wait, but it worked. He was upside down.
Little
But I
vertical
saw it.
control.
I was like, I got to take this big box and turn it upside down. But it worked. It worked just good enough. And so I called up some people. I go, how do I turn this thing upside down? How do I make it right side up? I got him working. It was a guitar player. And so I took the box that it was, and I started schlepping that thing to every single trade show or convention that would let me through the doors. And then the ones who said no, I found a different way in, and it generated attention. And I started getting calls from media, and because nobody had ever seen anything like this before, and it became a thing. And so I felt really good about that. And then we started raising some legit money, and and then I put that money back into the company, hired a bunch of people who had been working with me for free for the year or two. Starting a company is not easy. If you have, I'm sure there's a bunch of founders or entrepreneurs in your audience. It is, you are the heroes. It is really, and what we're doing here, this show that you're putting, this is a startup. doing everything, right? Like Grillo's a full stack host. You're producing, you're booking your guests, you're editing, I mean, that's what running a company is like too. It's like
Dave, I also have a broom on my ass. I'm sweeping as we talk.
it doesn't surprise me. That's what you have to do as like an
Yeah.
owner of a company or as a founder. And so I'm still waiting for that day when I feel like I've made it. I don't. I have dozens of employees who are all that I'm partly responsible for, paychecks. And so there's a lot of pressure on me and the other folks on the leadership side of this company. And my job is to make sure that they are very successful. My investors, they've invested quite a lot of money. And my job is to make sure that I make them filthy rich.
Yeah.
And on the technology side of things, my job is to make this not just work in lots of different waiting rooms and boardrooms, but I really want these in everybody's living room. And
So,
so that's the idea.
so now that the technology has been out for a while, has like say using the beginning, like it's $8,000 to just hypothetically use your thing. Has it got to the point where you have enough business where you can make a price drop, or do people rent these out? Do they buy them? How does it work?
They buy them, they rent them, they lease them. Sometimes we'll do trade outs if it makes sense. And so yeah, we do probably about 250 events a year. We just did Coachella, where we had holograms of Olandria from Love Island and also Paris Hilton as Barbies. And so we did the deal with Mattel. And so if anybody went to Coachella, you might have seen holograms of Olandria and Paris Hilton as hologram Barbie inside of what looked like a holographic Barbie box. And then and we just helped Michael, the movie Michael, open to number one. We've got hologram boxes all over the country with holograms of the two young Michael Jackson actors, and you can do this kind of live dancing active thing with them, and it's pretty experiential. I like the idea of not just signage, digital signage, just something kind of floating in midair, but I want you to interact with it and leave with something.
So how did Elon Musk get involved? Obviously, he's Mr. Technology. That must have been a big badge on your shoulder when he got involved. No.
Yeah, Elon posted on, so he acquired some of our technology for whatever purposes that he wants to use it for. I never talked to him. I dealt with people in between me and him, and he started posting on Twitter or X. He started posting on his social media platform all about the technology, which really helped us out quite a bit. In fact, on the same day, Elon Musk posted about Proto on X, his social media platform, and Reid Hoffman, the opposite of Elon Musk, he posted on his social media platform, LinkedIn, um, all about Proto because they both apparently use Proto for different reasons.
Can you
I'll
like
leave it at that.
have you gone into the medical field? Like, there's another doctor say that can perform a surgery that's not there. Can you have like one of those holograms in an operating room and to guide people through surgeries and shit?
Yes. Proto technology is HIPAA compliant, and that just means that a doctor and a patient could essentially have a real time encrypted conversation, and it's completely private from end to end. So a doctor can beam thousands of or hundreds or thousands of miles from wherever she is. Maybe it's her office, maybe she's in New York, but she has a patient in Las Vegas where you are, and so they can essentially be in the same place at the same time and so not only is it great for consultations, but we're being used quite a bit in hospitals, but also in medical schools. Doctors and professors are beaming into medical schools to do keynote speeches and to even train and teach future healthcare providers, which is really great. So no longer do patients and doctors need to be within 20 miles of each other. They literally could be anywhere. Right now in Boston, there's a group of oncologists who are beaming into Ghana Don't ask me where that is.
Yeah.
Not in, it's. I mean, it's so we've beamed oncologists to Uganda, to Ghana, to Sydney, to Tokyo, and they're beaming into all these different locations without leaving Boston. And these are some of the greatest oncologists. So they're able to inspire and motivate, but they're also able to teach, treat, and diagnose remotely, which is really good. So we love that, and I'm I can't every day I wake up and I find out that proto's being used in a new way, which is great.
I'd be like, "Hey, doc, is this a pimple or a boil?" You know.
Well,
Turned out it was a gummy
yeah.
bear.
That's amazing.
That's
Hey,
good.
David, I
Yeah.
want to say, out of everything you just mentioned, when you said you were down to your last nothing, what
Yeah.
kept you going when you were at that point? Because I know a lot of people, they give up when they're down to nothing.
I gave up so many times, other times. Um I couldn't. I was pot committed. I'd spent my entire life savings. Um and I spent other another so I when I ran out of my own money, a kind of acquaintance gave me about 20 grand to keep it going, and I was down to that was pretty much running on fumes. And I it wasn't just about me, but it was I'd taken money from somebody else, and um I knew it was a good idea. Like, I was positive it was a really good idea. So I was either crazy or I was certain. But I guess there's a fine line there. But as it turns out, I was right, because it worked. And now we've got thousands of units in 50 different countries, and I've got, dozens of employees that work here, and we have hundreds of investors. And Grillo talked about some of them right now, and those investors are everything to me. And some are incredibly famous, and other
Yeah.
people. Were not investors, but in just amazing customers. And they say, hey, I'm going to be a customer. Like when Mr. Beast, bought some units from us, or when Dana White bought some units from me, they left the Proto branding on it when they put it on TV, and it's really great. So I mean, so a long way to answer your question. I What kept me going is I needed it. I needed it to work, Pete.
I
I
love
had no
that.
backup plan. No backup plan.
What's your favorite celebrity that you've encountered so far? Because Paris Hilton, when she was on the scene, like when she first rolled around, I didn't find her. She didn't do it for me. But now that she's a little older and a little more mature,
Yeah,
she's pretty spot on, man. I don't know what
she's
happened to her when
fantastic.
she got
Yeah.
older. Maybe she got
Um.
sober.
Yeah. Maybe she got sober. I don't know. I don't know what her.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know what her. I don't know if she had a problem or not.
oh no, I'm just saying.
Um.
But she looks
Yeah.
different to me right now. Like
Well, people grow up. People mature, and they look differently when they grow up. I also think that I don't know her very. I mean, we've met a bunch of times, and her husband is incredible as well, Carter.
I didn't even know
Uh,
she was married.
yeah, no, she's married. In fact, I got a call from Carter and Paris. They were on their honeymoon, and they said that they really wanted to invest in Proto. They really liked it. They've seen it in somewhere out in the wild, and they really wanted to invest. Paris has had many of us fooled. A lot of people probably thought she was the young lady from A Simple Life, but that's just not true. She's very smart. Um, I see the stuff that she's doing on Capitol Hill. She's a human rights activist. She also owns her own company, 1111 Media. They invest in technology. She's like really into the metaverse. She's into VR. She's into holograms. She's very smart. So I think maybe what happened, w- maybe you weren't feeling the simple life version of her, but the fact that she's kind of got it together, and she's becoming a bit of a mogul, and she's really on top of things. That might be what has you more excited about her. She's pretty great.
She took that goofy persona that she had on screen, but I always thought she was like that was like a smoke screen that she was probably running the game. She took that little show and she made it fucking huge. And I just don't think it was just that. I think she knew what she was doing, and her and Nicole Richie sort of ran
Yeah.
with it. But I think I had a feeling that she was running the show. She was playing that ditzy blonde thing, but I
Yes.
had a feeling she was some serious person behind the scenes.
She is, yeah, she's great. So my favorite celebrity, you asked who my favorite celebrity is. I mean, it's got to be Howie Mandel. So I've met, far more famous people than Howie. Uh, Howie to me is the greatest proto celebrity on Earth. He on February 24th, 2022. I was just doing another day. I was just at my job, and at the end of the day, I went on my Instagram. I just started looking at Instagram, and I noticed, why do I have 500 comments from Howie Mandel on my Instagram?
Wow.
And so this is great. You're a genius. This is brilliant. Keep going. Check your DMs. In my DMs, it's his phone number. Call me. This is the future. I want to be everywhere without going anywhere. And
Yeah, well,
and
that helps his OCD. He doesn't have to touch people if he's a hologram.
So true.
That is absolutely true. And not even in a funny way. I mean, it's funny to think about it, but it's also real. Like, he does have that. He is germaphobe, he has OCD, he's a big mental health awareness person, and he does think that this is a kind of a medical device. It's allowing people to be in a place that they don't necessarily feel comfortable being in, or maybe can't physically go to
Yeah, gee, Dave, I never
for one
worked with
reason.
anybody like that before, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. By the way, I met Howie and Howard at the exact same time. My last company, the one that Frado helped me kind of get those patents,
Yeah.
we auditioned for America's Got Talent in like 2014 together. So it was Howard and Howie on opposite sides, and then in the middle it was two other people. It was
Is there any way to get Howie on the hologram and talk to him, or
yeah. Let me pull Howie in here. So here.
we could talk to him, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're going to talk to him right now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Hang on. You talk amongst yourselves for 1 second. Let me pull this
Yeah, yeah.
guy up.
Hey, Pete, so are you paying attention over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we are ready for some super tips. So
All right,
anyone
let's
send them on
see.
in right now.
Yeah, well, you got to let me know when they pop in, bro. All right, let's try this. Cupcake, don't be mad if this doesn't work. Okay, we're on super tips. Go ahead, send one through. Oh, you're ready for them. I just said you had some super tips. Okay.
Yes,
All right, so
we're ready for
this
them
is,
to come on
this is
through.
us talking to Howie Mandel, everybody. Live on Grillo's Aftershock XL. Dave knows.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, David. I'll keep it professional. David's going to.
No, you call me Nuzzy. You got grandfathered in, so.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Howie. I'm here with Stephen Grillo and Pete Pitts.
Stephen Grillo, that guy's hilarious. I've known him forever. What did he say? I'm all ears and ready to either confirm, deny, or make a joke about whatever's coming next.
Is there going to be a Bobby's World 2 coming out?
Let me turn the volume up a little bit on him. Was his volume down a little bit?
No, it sounds a little muffled, but it's all right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and ask him that question again.
Hey, Howie. Nice to meet you, buddy. Is there going to be another Bobby's World coming around this way?
Grillo's asking about Bobby's World 2. Can you confirm that there's going to be a Bobby's World 2?
Oh man, Bobby's World was such a blast. But a sequel. Right now, there are no... But hey, never say never. In this entertainment world, anything can happen. If enough fans demand it, who knows? Maybe Bobby will make a comeback. I'd totally be down for revisiting that character. But for now, it's just a fun dream.
Oh, go ahead. Ask them that. Go ahead. Yeah. How do you feel about me? How do you feel about David Nussbaum?
David Nussbaum, that guy's awesome. I met him on Instagram on February 24th, 2022, and I'm an investor in Proto Hologram, which is mind-blowing technology for live entertainment and healthcare. As for how I feel about you, well, I feel great. I'm always ready to entertain, crack a joke, and have a good time. That's just who I am. Howie Mandel, professional chaos agent and lover of laughter. Want to hear a joke? I've got about 1 million of them.
Yeah. Tell us a joke. Yeah, go ahead. Howie, yeah, please tell us a joke.
Okay, here's a classic Howie joke for you. I've decided to get into shape, and the shape I've selected is a triangle. Winks, get it? Because shapes are funny, and I'm all about unexpected comedy. Trust me, I've been making people laugh for decades.
Any more questions for Mr. Howie Mandel? Deal or no deal? America's Got Talent. What do you think? Do we have any questions? Oh, by the way, yeah, listen, and you know, let's be respectful as well. Does anybody speak any other languages? Check this out. Watch this. Tell me a little bit about yourself in Japanese. He speaks every language.
こんにちは。私はホーイ・マンデル、カナダ出身のコメディアンです。ADHD と強迫症障害を持っていて、ジャンルを超えたエンターテイナーです。アメリカズゴットタレントの審査員でディールオアノーディールのホストもやりました。バイと人間の反応が大好きで。
Is that something? Any other questions? Pete, I'm sure you've got lots of questions. Okay.
This works now. Go ahead. Let's try it. Yeah. No, nope. You want to read it?
Howie Mandel, カナダのコメディアンです。テレビの
I'll just try it one more time. Hit the play button.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. Always happy to drop some international comedy.
Yeah, do we want to say goodbye to Howie and bring on Bill? Hey Howie, we're gonna say goodbye to you for now. We're gonna introduce. We're gonna bring William Shatner on to answer some questions. You good with that?
William Shatner, that guy's a legend. Absolutely, bring him on. I love Bill. We've worked together. We've laughed together. He's one of the most entertaining guys in the business. Can't wait to see what he's going to say.
Right.
Go for it.
Go for it. Okay, great. All right, we're gonna remove him from this. We're gonna bring Shatner on. Sorry, I'm holding my computer, and it's kind of like what you're doing. Oh, brought the wrong guy back. Hang on. Who should we? We got all kinds of options here. All right. My right arm is getting tired, so I'm going to use my left arm now to hold this computer. So what else we got? Would Howie swim in Grillo's pool? That's a good question. We should have asked that. Okay, we've got Bill Shatner here. Hey, Bill, I'm here with my friend Steve Grillo from the Howard Stern Show. He's doing his own thing now, though, Bill.
Steve Grillo, quite the character. I've had my fair share of encounters with interesting personalities. It's always fascinating to see someone carve their own path. Steve, what's your current venture? Are you exploring new creative horizons? And how about you, friend? What brings you both to this conversation with me?
Yeah, see that? Oh, sorry. Okay, what was it like to go into space? It's a very good
space,
question.
the final frontier, as they say. My journey to the edge of space was nothing short of extraordinary. Imagine seeing the Earth from that perspective, so small, so beautiful, enveloped in a delicate atmosphere. It made me feel a profound sense of connection to our planet and all of humanity. And the sensation of weightlessness? Absolutely liberating. It reminded me of the vastness of our universe and the limits of our understanding. It's an experience I'll cherish forever. What about you? Do you have a desire to venture into space?
You can ask a salty question. He. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but go ahead. I saw the question. All right. One of the questions. So we're on this live streaming podcast right now, and one of the oh, let's see.
Ah, a live streaming podcast.
Yeah.
What an exciting platform. It allows for spontaneity and connection
Right.
with your audience in real time. You can share ideas, stories, and laughter with people all.
So what the question is? What? Oh, tell me about your relationship with George Takei. How do you feel about him? Everybody loves George Takei.
Ah, George Takei, a remarkable talent and a dear friend. Our time together on Star Trek created a unique bond, but like any friendship, we've had our ups and downs. It's important to remember that differing opinions are part of life. George has a heart of gold and a voice that advocates for important social issues. While we may not see eye to eye on every subject, I have always respected his perspective and the passion he brings to his work. After all, we both share a love for the story that Star Trek told about humanity and inclusion. How about you? Any friendships in your life where you've endured some differences but still hold a deep appreciation for one another?
Isn't that something? The guy's brilliant. Is that a real question, Mike from Red Letter Media? We want to know how do you feel about Mike from Red Letter Media?
Ah, yes, Red Letter Media. Mike Stoklasa and his team bring a unique blend of humor and critique to film commentary. I appreciate their passion and the thoughtful analysis they provide, often with a delightful dose of sarcasm. They certainly have a way of keeping creators accountable while entertaining viewers, a talent in itself. It's refreshing to see different perspectives on the works
you go.
we've been part of. Sometimes
Look at
they
this.
hit the
We got Biggie right here also. He doesn't, but Biggie doesn't talk. He just kind of hangs out. And by the way, look at this. So Shatner, I'm only putting like his face on, but look at his feet. It's like he's standing there on the floor. The shadows are on the back wall. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool technology. Yeah, we've done that. You know what? I don't know why I didn't just put this on a table to begin with. Yeah, we do stuff like that all the time, but yeah, these are being used in malls. We're in hundreds of malls for like holographic advertising. We're in movie theater lobbies. We're being used a lot by enterprise customers like Amazon or Accenture, Salesforce, and they're using them a lot for training. But ask him to say sabotage. That's good. You got some good questions in here. He's in the news a lot lately these days. Yeah.
For that. All right. Let's play this. Let's see if this works. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Play? No? Okay. Okay. So what did it say?
We have Crown Prince Sebastian Johann of Porte Corvo. Do the Pelican himself, Howard Stern, he says.
Oh, do you have a Howard prototype hologram there?
No. So the only way I would ever get a hologram of a person is if they, in fact, kind of opted into it. So none of this is done without 100% of that person's endorsement and involvement. The AI must be signed off on by the person, and they're involved in the whole kind of prompting process. So anything that they say or do, or their personality, or how they answer a question, and the things that they don't want to talk about, all that stuff is run through the person themselves. No, I've never gotten the pleasure of creating a hologram of the king of all media, but that would be on my bucket list. And I am, and always will be, a super fan. You know, and that would be great. You know.
I understand that because, you know, again, I like most people, where I was a fan of Howard before I started working. That's why I started working on the show. I would listen and hear Mike Ganji and other people on the air, and I'm like, well, if they can fucking get an internship, why can't I? And then I just happened to just be going to school down the block, and I just happened to get the internship because I was a fan. And you know, I look back at those years, it's like, it was like insane about how young I was and how hard I worked, and how lucky I was to be in such an amazing place at that astronomically really cool fucking time. You know what I'm saying? So I am definitely, you know, I know I'm blessed, but you know, I think about, you know, where I fall sour is I think about, you know, the years of what he could have done, not just for me, but for other employees that were just amazing there. And he just, you know, the sour part is that I, you know, don't like what he did or how he treats his employees, and including myself.
Yeah, that's. I hear what you're saying. I've never been an employee, so I don't have that relationship, and so I don't have that bad feeling, you know. But you're my guy, and so if you're hurting, I'm hurting. But yeah. Oh, by the way, so to answer one of the questions in your chat, how did I get the hologram avatar of Biggie? So we work directly with the Biggie estate, and so there's, when you're gone, your name, likeness, and image, and other parts of your vibe are all kind of handed off to either a lawyer or your loved ones, and so I work directly with the family and the estate and some lawyers to bring him back on what would have been his 50th birthday, 25 years after he passed, and his hologram appeared at Lincoln Center on a kind of a 50th birthday celebration for him, which was really great. Anyway. So that's how I got that.
Could AI make him talk, or is that? Like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
Like when you get AI with Shatner, do you have to film him like at different angles and like film X amount of hours in order to be able to get a replication like that?
I filmed him for under 2 minutes, and it only shot from a single angle, in a locked off camera shot. Everything that you're seeing is shot using just a single angle. Even though it has the feeling of depth and three-dimensional, these are all shot using a single camera. Jewel or any of these.
Another person that got me thrown out. They had the Grammys one year, and I snuck into the Army, the barracks. You know, the old ones on Lexington Avenue. They had the after party there, and I snuck in by myself. I had a tape recorder and a bunch of questions, and I got a couple of people, but it was like the after party there. Everybody was like drinking, and no one was expecting any press to be there. So I finally worked my way up to Jewel, and the first question is, "What's the name of your dentist?"
Oh,
and
you know,
she didn't take too well.
Because you're
you gotta
perfect,
something.
right?
I love her. I think that she's one of the most prettiest people in the entertainment business, and she has such an amazing like voice and everything. But I'm a soldier and I was giving orders, so
Yeah.
she proceeded to make a big stink, and two big burly guys in suits came and dragged me and like
Yeah.
threw me in a closet and like locked me in the closet. And I was like, wait a minute, they have no fucking right to do this. So, I'm from Brooklyn, so I took out a credit card and I clipped the lock and I ran out down the stairs and jumped in a taxi on Lexington Avenue.
You get thrown out of a lot of places, huh?
Yeah, no, I have. It's really kind of fun if you're doing it the right way. I got beat up by Spike Lee's bodyguards. I think there's one day, who was married to Ted Kennedy that was still alive? She wrote a book, and it was the first time I ever did an answer. I didn't even know who she was, but she was basically, I guess, married to Ted Kennedy when the Chappaquiddick thing happened, and it was like that fancy bookstore that was on 57th Street, and the other person got thrown out the day before. So then I went in and it was like the security had me by the back of the shirt, like literally lifting me up down the stairs. It was quite the experience.
That's amazing. Hey,
Yeah.
David, I see a comment. I want to ask you. Oscar wants to know: Can anyone purchase one of these to keep a past loved one around the house?
Oh, that's a good question there, Oscar.
Really good question.
Yes. In fact, if you Google or use AI, nobody Googles anymore, but we literally just did this. We did our first hologram funeral last week. This woman named Pam, she recently widowed. She was with the same man for 60 years, and he was brought back as an AI hologram, so he can be at his own funeral and participate. He was answering questions, and it was really moving and emotional for a lot of people. By the way, both of my parents are still with us, thank goodness, and they're here to. Oh, is there a knock at the door? So
No,
these are
I'm knocking wood. Your parents are still here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, these are my parents. My mom, she's also from Brooklyn, by the way. Joyce.
What part?
Michael's from. Ma, what part? No, she's not. But what's great is they will always. I see them all the time. They live in New Jersey right now, and my parents say, "How come you don't visit anymore? How come you don't visit anymore?" I just saw you today. I see you all the time.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to get out of having to go visit your parents. If you put one of those booths in their house, you can be with them every day, and then still just when it gets a little, okay, that's enough, Mom. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, just unplug it, right? That's it.
Yeah.
I want one now. I want one, Dave. I'm going to have to get one.
All right.
No,
Bring up another. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You do job interviews through this as well. Like you can really you could set some people up and have some fun with this. No.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes, like Howie, like this is his building too. So like this whole building is Howie's, and so sometimes he'll.
Can you give us a tour?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, give us a tour of the studio.
Okay, so here's a little bit of. So like this is the showroom, and so like sometimes like Howie and I will just be sitting on the couch. He'll say, "I'm bored. Let me beam somewhere." So we'll beam him to a furniture store in Japan, or we'll beam him into JFK Airport. We do that all the time. Like he'll just beam into the airport and just start messing with people. He'll get them to open up their luggage, and it's really funny. So, and so this is kind of where we beam from. Oh, this is my wall of fame. I've got all the celebrities that come by. Here's Luis Guzman and Charlie Sheen, and here's Billy Bob Thornton, Lisa Rinna, Patton Oswalt. We've got Rob Lowe, Josh Duhamel, Damon John from Shark Tank, Kevin Nealon. We got all the people.
You can use that as collateral, God forbid something happens.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. And so this spot right here, this is where I beam from. It's just a roll of paper. It's just a roll of white paper as my backdrop. I use a light to illuminate me. And here, I've already plugged this thing in for you. So I could beam anywhere in the world. I'm going to beam into this one right here. So you can actually see me in more than one place at a time.
This is insane, dude.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Oh my
wild.
God! But you were literally.
Live holoportation, guys. So this is it. And by the way, I could be thousands of miles away. This is how Mr. Beast beamed from the subterranean cave to the top of the bridge in North Carolina. So you could be anywhere. You could literally be anywhere. You just need these devices where you're going, which is
Wow.
kind
I
of cool.
love it.
Is anybody else in the studio, or is it just you?
Nah, I mean there's a bunch of people in our warehouse right now. They're filming a podcast, another podcast over there. But so like here's the warehouse. I don't know how exciting this is for your show, but so this is the kind of the operation. This is like behind the scenes. So we send all of our units in these big roadie cases, and so they just roll right out. This gentleman here is testing it, and so we're watching how they're being fixed and maintained, and there's a hologram DJ inside there. Yeah, it's really cool. And then we have little ones too. We have little miniature units. You want to see a little miniature?
Yeah,
unit?
let's go. Show us your inventory, man. I didn't see the little ones yet.
Here's here. Watch this. I'm gonna bring on. There we go. Here's little mini.
Oh wow,
Corey.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah,
I just
here's
want
little
to.
mini Corey Feldman.
I just want to pat him on the head.
I know he's 1/5 scale. He's like a little Wonka vision.
Oh my God, that is Wonka Vision. Holy shit, Dave, you did it.
I did it.
Wow.
That is fucking Wonka Vision. Hey,
Let's
Mom,
see.
look at me. I'm on TV.
Am I coming in clear?
Yeah.
Here's what we got. You like JB Smooth? Look at this guy.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
We got a tiny JB Smooth. Look at.
Yeah, but you have to have the high pitched voice go along with it.
Well, the voice is great. There's Howie. He's back.
Oh, where is he now?
Oh, he's all over the place. It doesn't look like he's actually gonna be able to actually physically be here.
Well, just let everybody know that was actually going to happen. But you know, he's a busy guy. But you did try and you did plan for him to come on. So I do appreciate that.
Shatner and Howie were both supposed to be here, but then they got called into doing something else. So they gave me permission to use their AI holograms instead.
So, but yeah, I apologize for everybody. But there was maybe we could set up something where it is the AI and people could ask. We'll set up because you know, again, it was a very nice slick cover of how this went down. But they were supposed to be here, and I was hoping maybe towards the end they might. But we should maybe set up another show where people already have pre-asked questions, and we'll have people ask the AI questions, and maybe we can try to get them back another day.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, because this was last minute. We just spoke yesterday, and it was like, hey, let's do this tomorrow. But you know, my schedule is open tomorrow. I have Vinny Pastore coming on. You know, everybody knows who Vinny is, and he's coming on to just, you know, I go back. I call him Uncle Vinny at this point. He's like one of the coolest guys on the planet. No nonsense, for real. But we have an OG history together, and he's coming on. And Friday, I have Antonia Bennett's daughter, Antonia, coming on. So if you have any interest in those people for anything, Dave, I would love to put you in touch with them.
I'd love it. I like being put in touch with people.
Yeah, like if you wanna jump on any day with those people, man. If you want to come on, if you have the time, I know you're running $1 billion company, but if you have the time, if you want to come on with Vinny or Antonia, because you know maybe maybe there's a connection there which will bring back Tony for some stuff or something, you know.
I'd love to. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, go ahead,
David. Can I ask, with everything you've accomplished so far, what do you have that you're looking forward to most right now?
I like to spend more time with my kids. My son Theo is turning 5 this year, and my daughters are going to be 11 and 12. And
wow, that's some fun ages.
Yeah, they're
Beautiful.
fun. And also my wife, I don't really spend, I spend a lot of time at work. I guess, most people, they spend most of their day at work, so I don't know that I'm any different from them. But I like spending my time with my family. I would love to be able to spend more time with my family, doing a startup, kind of creating your own idea. I dreamt this company up. I've got a great team, but I still put 80 to 100 hours a week in, like any founder should.
You're the dad over there and the dad over here.
Well, it's true. I go home and then I'm a kind of a jungle gym for my kids, and until they finally go to bed. Broadcasting is everything to me. This company's because of broadcasting. This company exists because I met Johnny Fratto on my podcast, in a way, and my podcast also, by the way, introduced me to my wife. She won a reality show a billion years ago, and I just wanted her to be a guest on my podcast that I used to host with co-host with Guy Opachinsky. And so Guy and we had Charla on, who is now my wife and mother of my 3 children, and it was so cool. Podcasting brought me everything, and I wouldn't have started a podcast if it wasn't for the Howard Stern Show. So you and the team around you, from the late '80s, early '90s, kind of inspired this.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a text message here from. Shuli wanted to say hello to you. And he also wants to just. We had a nice conversation, me and Shuli, about Howie and how he really was really awesome to Shuli, and how they went on the road, and he took Shuli on his jet with him and everything, and they watched, I think, Chicago together. So Shuli wanted to. If you see Howie, tell him Shuli says hello and thank you. And he said the same thing to you. But Tim Sabian is watching right now. He says, I know the guy that works with the product. Yeah. Rich Twistle?
Yeah, Rich introduced me to you, Tim. So
yeah,
Tim
Sabian, just text me.
Yeah, I met Tim. Rich introduced me to you, Tim, and then I never heard from you again. So, but it does happen. Tim is when I met Tim and I showed him this technology, he said, "This is a potential future in broadcasting," or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not trying to put any words into your mouth, but for Tim, I remember it was a positive reaction, and I remember going, "Wow, this guy is on the Mount Rushmore of broadcasting." Tim Sabian,
yeah, no doubt.
And for him to say that I'm onto something, really meant something to me. And
he just texted me game changer. That's what he said.
Thank you. Yeah, it is, and it meant. And he said something like that when I met him, and it meant something to me then, and it still continues to mean something to me now. And Shuli is, I've known Shuli for a long time.
Maybe don't shit all over the bathroom,
Tim. Tim did that.
Never get away from Shitgate, man. Oh my God. So
is that alleged? But and Shuli, when Shuli was on the show, on the Howard Stern Show, he brought me up several times on the air to Howard, and Howard rushed him out of the room pretty quickly, because I remember Howard saying, because he was doing his book, and Howard's like, I don't want to go on a book tour. I don't want to sit and Shuli says, we actually know the guy who could beam you into all the bookstores.
Yeah.
And Howard just like, okay, Shuli, whatever. But Shuli, thank you. I remember that very much, and I've always appreciated that. You gave it a shot.
I guess it was the last Lame book that he wrote. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It seemed like everybody said that was just like a easy way to fucking make a cash grab. So, but anyway, there was what was I just gonna ask you? Oh, there was it's funny that Tim actually texted, because there's a lot of people in this like Dabbleverse universe. That's what they call it. That have this theory that Tim Sabian is funding me to be out here. And it's the funniest thing, because I couldn't be any further from the truth. But the fact that Tim just texted me during this is just going to fuel the fire even more. To think that Tim is, they were like, this is all put together by Tim Sabian. And I don't know why they're so concerned, Dave, Pete, about why I'm out here and how I'm making money. Is like, I let out a little bit of I'm just, I'm here. And I have a purpose here, and just the purpose isn't. It's not time to figure out what the purpose is or reveal anything. Right now I'm here and I'm doing my show, and these people can't. It drives them nuts not to know what the fuck is going on and how I'm doing this. But I happen to have the ability to maintain friendships throughout my life, much like you, why you're here today and telling us about this great technology. I don't burn bridges, and I just happen to be someone that's genuine and real, and which why I keep like friendships like you for over 20 years, and and it's easy where I could just make a phone call and be like, yo. Does you want to come on? And you're like, hell yeah. And I call Vinny Pastore, Uncle Vinny, you want to come on? Hell yeah. It's because it's how you maintain friendships and relationships that really defines who you are and your longevity in anything.
That's true.
That's true.
If you're an asshole, and people find that out real quick, and that's why you're alone and all by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Grillo, we do have a super tip that just came through.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
All right, let's see if it'll post through. If not, I'll just read it out.
Yeah.
Sending it right now.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
Ponte Corvo, he says, how about a Stuttering John hologram?
Yeah, it's called Scratch and Sniff. No, yeah, I appreciate the question, but I'm not going to delve into that whole situation anymore because it's not like I think I'm better. I'm just staying away from just toxic negativity and being myself and being positive. I'm just going to have a guest on every day. These people, they can listen or they don't have to. I have other guests that come on and they deal with it. So I'm going to do the guest thing and just, try to keep it as far away from the negativity as I could possibly do because I just don't like it. Is there a more inarticulate, low intelligence host on YouTube? How long till Grillo exhausts the sympathy he gets for the guests? Yes, I like showing this negativity stuff because if you can't talk about it, then what the fuck?
Naysayers fuel me. I don't know how you feel about them, but yeah, if you're getting so he went out of his way to write something negative, which means that you're doing something right. You're creating conversation.
So chillin'. No, I did not time out you yesterday. I was not working the computer. Neither was anybody. I don't know. I did not time you out. Me personally, no. So this guy's kind of like said, you wanted DV, you got it. You can't have it both ways, Sonny boy. I'm sorry. Is this the Nazi Germany that we live in, or can I just do a YouTube show and do it the way I want to do it? I didn't join a club. I didn't fill out an application. I just started doing what I was doing fucking 5 years ago, and it was successful at the time. And I'm just back in here doing what I'm doing. Thank you, Crown Prince. I appreciate your cause. See, this guy's a nice guy. There's a lot of nice guys in this whole thing. But there's some people that are just awful that just do things that I consider out of line, like doxing and stuff like that. And I just don't. I have the capability of doing exactly what they're doing. I just not going down the road because then it just makes me exactly who they are, and that's not what I'm about.
Yeah. Wow.
So, do you have any naysayers out there? What's your biggest confrontation about? Like, do people say this is bullshit? This is not real? Like
yes, I have so many people that do stuff like that, and that's I used to focus on them quite a bit. Like I'll post something on TikTok or on Instagram or on my LinkedIn or something, and then I'll have 500 comments, and they'll all be positive, and then like one or two will be awful, and then those are the ones that I used to focus on, and I just stopped letting it take up my time because I think people are going to be negative, and it's just to get your attention most of the time. But honestly, sometimes the negativity not only does it fuel me, but it also makes me think, maybe they're right about something. Because if a lot of people say the same comment over and over again, maybe there is some truth to that. And so you can always look into that and see if there's a way to fix issues like that. You know what I hear a lot? That's what I hear. I hear okay, so basically Zoom, or sometimes I hear okay, so a TV, or all right, I get it, it's like FaceTime. So I hear a lot.
Yeah, there's a fucking shadow behind you on that goddamn thing. Like, give me a fucking break. You can see the dirt on your shoelaces.
And look, I think I'm wearing the same shirt too. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sklar Brothers.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know
so
what? They went to Hunter College. They were there at the same time I was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, guys? He went to the same.
I'm pretty sure they went to Hunter College, unless there's somebody that two twins that look like them, you know.
Yeah.
So, so then they say they just think it's another Zoom thing. They don't like it's bullshit technology, and is that what they go down?
Sometimes. Yeah, but the thing that they don't know is that Proto does like 1,000 things. So we built this operating system. So like Apple, like let's say you buy the phone, that's the Proto, and then the operating system is all the apps and all the things. So when they say, "Oh, it's like Zoom," that's just our FaceTime. And then you could build all these apps on it. You could do the avatars and the translations, and and there's hologram video games. People like there's this Michael Jackson thing this is in all the malls and the movie theaters right now, where you can actually interact and engage with the two Michaels from the film. If I tap the screen, then like the choreographer comes out, and then you do like this dance off with them. It's really cool. So when they learn that it does all of the things, then the naysaying slows down. Plus, I've got a bunch of copycats now.
Oh,
Steve,
yeah, I was going to ask that question next, dude.
I have never been a trendsetter. Look at this. This is the face of a trendsetter. High school version of me would be very proud of old version of me. We started something that I am now seeing trying to be copied all over the world with these kind of copycat looking boxes. You might see something like this out in the world that doesn't look quite as good. That's one of my knockoffs, which is kind of cool. People tell me that I should be that I should take that as a form of as a compliment.
Well, I think of this often, and I actually had this conversation with Julie like earlier today, like because like there are moments like he was talking about how he was such a big fan of Howie Mandel, and how that all of a sudden now he's touring with him in Canada. Now he's on a private jet with Howie, and then all of a sudden he's watching a concert with Howie, and he said that Howie turned to him and was like, "Can you believe we get paid to do this?" And which I think it seemed like something that Howie Mandel would say. But I was like, Julie, and then this question goes to you too, Pete. Like, is there moments like, because I have them, where I was like, oh my God, if I were to go back in time and tell little Grillo that this is what's going to happen to you in the future, and just to watch that reaction of them, my little self going, get the fuck out of here, you old man. What's your moment where you'd like to go back to little Nuzzy and say, yo, you're going to be really fucking successful one day. It's going to be great. Like, do you have one of those moments?
Well, I think about stuff like that all the time. I have those moments when I talk to my kids. Like, my kids don't think I know them. They don't think I know what it's like to be in the 6th grade, or they don't. So I do have those moments where I try to put myself back into my old shoes. But times have changed. If 6th grade in 1980 something is different than 6th grade today. And
oh my God,
the kids are getting older faster. But I'd love to tell young Nuzzy, you're gonna have a beautiful, intelligent wife who was once pretty famous from a reality show that she was on. You are going to have 3 incredible children who are all going to be way smarter than you when they grow up. You will have you'll be an inventor with patents and a company that is thriving and you're going to create a new industry, holoportation and hologram boxes So I would I wouldn't believe a word.
It's almost like, and in a small, odd way, you could be like the guy in Terminator 2 who created fucking, the Cyberdyne systems. You're going to get a Terminator coming back and try to take you out.
It really is incredible.
Yeah. So, nobody, all right. So, like, for me, I would like to go back and tell little Steve, like, one day you're going to be friends with Mark Hamill. Like, is there any celebrities that you would go back that you wouldn't think that little you would believe that you were friends with, or forget about Howie, because that's the obvious one.
Oh, sure. By the way, I guess Rich Twistle was just called by our friend in common because he's sitting in your chat room right now. What's up,
Oh
Rich?
yeah.
Rich is great. So Rich Twistle, who should be working right now. Rich, what are you doing?
Oh, you got busted, buddy.
Go back to work. Rich, it was COVID, and I was on LinkedIn just trying to find somebody to take a look at this proto technology. And Rich, like Howie, we talked about how he dipped into my DMs. Rich sent me a message on LinkedIn. It was probably like December of 2020. Like it was like COVID was pretty fresh, and he said, "You're onto something. How can we work together?" And I messaged him back. I said, "I have no money," and he said, "I don't care. We'll worry about that later. You got something." And so he was one of the first true believers that said, "I'm working." He says, "I'll eat what I kill," is what he said to me, and he did. He just started selling proto boxes. We were called Portal then, and yeah, so it was really great. So now, get back to work, Rich.
You guys, the boss just busted your ass.
Yeah.
Rich
Hey, we do have a super tip that's come through if you want me to read that out.
Go right ahead, handsome Pete.
All right, let's see if we can send it through. It's from Jacob Shed. He says, "I'm glad you finally woke up about Stuttering John."
Yeah. Well, I'll give Dave a brief tutorial about this. So basically, this guy decided, because I have a show, he was going to turn on me and just start just really saying awful things about me. And it took 30 years for me to realize that the person that he is the real person. And my mother actually said something to me earlier. She was like, I remember when you first started working there, you said to me that he's just really not a nice person, Mom. And I kind of chose to ignore that for a very long time. And I feel free and alive that I no longer will ever talk to that person again. It's a wonderful feeling. Other than that, I wish everybody nothing but the best. So someone's going to pay to ask me the question, but I don't need my show to be driven by negativity and awful fucking just disgustingness. I can fuel my show in other ways, like bringing people like you on, Dave.
Thank you. Well, at least you're not holding any anger in.
No, I'm at wonderful peace with myself right now, and it feels great. And I have people like you and Pete and other people, Vinny Pastore coming on tomorrow, and Tony and Bennett on Friday. I'm working on Thursday to getting somebody, and we'll see what happens. But I will have a guest on Thursday. It will not be anything other than just someone that I know is a friend of mine that wants to come on and say what's up. Whether it be a celebrity or not, I will fucking have a show on Thursday, and it'll be interesting and not fueled with drunken, hateful anger.
Yeah, sometimes when a guest drops out, or if you can't book a guest and you're just forced to maybe talk. There's always some of my favorite shows that when you were on the Stern Show, just talking with the team, like not a celebrity, not a band. It was just the guys all just in the studio talking. Like that to me is always some of the best banter.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
I agree. Definitely. This has been a good episode, David. We really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, man. People can go onto the Proto Hologram website and rent these, buy them, bring it. Now, here's another angle to the. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you too. I have an idea for you. So, I want to ask about that. Can you rent one of those and pay a celebrity to come on there and
sure,
like for 20 minutes to come to a birthday party,
like hologram cameo?
Yeah, can you do that? Is that something that's available?
I mean, sure. I guess it's. People rent these all the time from us, and then we beam celebrities all over the world. So
yeah,
I guess in a way, yeah, we can do that. We've done that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They pay the celebrity, they pay you, and all of a sudden they have Snoop Dogg at their 3-year-old's birthday party.
They 100% could do that, and it's not something that we typically do, but we have done that. We could beam anybody, anywhere, anytime.
All right,
and so yeah, it's pretty great.
I had this idea when you first came around, because I don't know, when I really kind of realized it would be like, and I'm giving this to you if it could work. So if you're at a baseball game and you have, say, there's so many places you could be. Like if you, all of a sudden if you wheeled out that one of your prototype booths right there, and you said, go to section 6E, and you could ask, Mookie Betts if any question you want, and then everybody comes, and then there's obviously a thing in the dugout where they're in the dugout, and you could talk to them in between innings and ask them a question or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like where you could really interact with the team while you're at the game.
Totally. I'm laughing at John's Whippet can. What is that? That's a callback. Good job, John. That was a really good one. Yeah, you could do that with Mookie Betts. Yeah, I think. Look, that's
any team in general where it's halftime, a commercial break, and they announce the hologram box is going to be in this section, and everybody runs over and they get asked a quick question in between innings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would make a fun interactive thing for everybody at the stadium. Maybe, I don't know.
It is. So we're in a bunch of stadiums. We're actually in Citi Field.
Okay.
We're in a bunch of Rich. If she's still here, list where we are. We're in like 40 different arenas and stadiums in the United States, and it's pretty cool. Like in some cases, it's just in the merch store. In other cases, it's like an interactive athlete. Like the athlete is like an AI avatar. And in other cases, we did something really cool recently with Caleb Williams. He beamed into Soldier Field. This was during draft day, so we just went through another draft a couple days ago. But when he was drafted first overall, we literally beamed him from Detroit, where the draft was being held, and we beamed him into Chicago, and he was on stage in Soldier Field in front of all of his new fans. It was really cool, and so we do stuff like that a lot. And this ought to be used more often as an interactive tool in stadiums and arenas. I think this is also great for music venues, theaters, like anywhere there are people. This should be in more theme parks, but yeah, we're getting there.
Casinos. I'm in Vegas. I got some connects out this way. What's up? You need some help?
I do need some help. We're not in many casinos. We should be. Imagine walking into a casino and they have like a holographic dealer or card dealer.
Well,
and or being used as a wayfinder or a concierge in your hotel. Like you can imagine checking in and having Lunel here check you in.
Yeah.
And she plays Vegas. She's a funny comedian. So imagine like an AI interactive multilingual hologram avatar checks you in, or tells you where the nearest pizza place is, or in a lot of these international airports, if you speak Italian, you don't speak another word. Imagine you speak Italian to the AI avatar, and the avatar speaks back to you in the exact same dialect. You feel connected to the city. You feel welcome, and it's going to make your trip that much. You're going to have a better emotional connection to the city that you just landed.
Also, if they have like say Barry Manilow is performing, and you can take pictures at the kiosk with Barry Manilow. That's the most realistic picture you could get without him being there. It ain't no cardboard cutout,
Yeah, exactly.
That would be like an amazing fucking little add-on, Yeah,
look at this. Imagine walking into Cooperstown and seeing, an athlete holding up their Gold Glove award, or walking into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, where did they go? We got the Jonas Brothers, not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but maybe one day Billy Morrison, who plays guitar for Billy Idol, by the way. So these are all things that can and should be happening.
Yeah. So and where can people go to find all this?
At Proto Hologram on everything. At Proto Hologram, and I agree with a lot of your viewers. They want to see a hologram of Eric the actor flying with balloons, and I think that would be really brilliant.
Oh well, so just real question, and again, I like to be a pain in the butt. Is there any way we could schedule something formal with Howie? And you?
Sure, yeah. He'll do it.
Okay, maybe Thursday, the 30th.
I'll actually connect you directly with his business, his partner.
Okay.
I'll get you on I'll get you on. I'll get you on
Okay.
really soon.
No, I said 30th for another reason, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So he, okay, well there we go. I'm so sorry. I just got distracted. It's so distracting with these comments. You get fucking lost, dude.
I know. I'm just reading. I'm just reading this.
Yeah, some of them are just awful, but most of the people that come my way have been really nice. And people, of course, want to know: is there a porn idea or section that's been floated around? Is there an X-rated version, or what's up?
Nobody's ever thought of that. Whoever
Yeah,
wrote
right.
that is brilliant. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
No, I saw it come through a couple times. I tried to digress from it, but it was yeah. Is there a triple X kind of scene that's come your way where do you want to go that way? Can you go that way? You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, I'm a businessman, Grillo,
Yeah.
and I'm also selling a piece of technology. So I'm not going to limit how people want to use proto technology, as long as
Okay.
it's legal, as long as everybody's a consenting party.
Yeah.
I'm pro business and however people want to use it. But yeah, it's so strange. Not one person has ever said that to me before.
Yeah.
Such a unique
I'm
use
gonna
case.
see those fucking hologram titties right now.
Hey, Steve, you should get a mini one first. Just start small.
Oh yeah, that make me look bigger all around. Mini porn. I want a mini porn box.
Love it. That's
All
an
right,
original
Dave,
question.
you're a much
yeah.
busier man than me. I want to say thank you so much for coming on, bro. And but I just thought, as much as I love Howie, I would like to have you and Howie talk about your story when you guys come back on, and we'll figure that out. Hopefully soon. I'll explain why the 30th when I call you later. But
Okay.
I can't thank you enough. And Pete Pitts, great job today, man. Great questions. And just another wonderful day here. Grillo's Aftershock XL, man. Peace out, everybody.